get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. My name's Bleaves. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto world. Also, Justin, FYI, we're integrating the Twitter chat, so I'm going to have that up. So if you comment either here or on Twitter, then I will get it. So let's talk about what's going on in the market. Of course, we are dumping because every time we get there, every time we get that chance, Donald Trump causes a dump in the market. But the question is, why is that happening? What does it have to do with Donald Trump? And is it going to ever stop? And the answer to that for the whole thing is, why is it happening with Donald Trump? Because he's saying whatever he wants to say for what he thinks is the important next step for the United States. And that is to be more self-reliant on itself. Now, I would argue, how is that a bad thing? Well, the markets are manipulating what he says each time for their own gains. That's really what's going on. So is Donald Trump bad for these markets? No. Is what he's doing right now bad for the markets? Not really. In fact, long term, this is what's best for the United States. So what is happening right now is the markets are being manipulated by the people at the top. They're putting billions of dollars to work to try to shake you out, to try to break you down, to try to put you in a position where you feel like you have no alternative but to sell. Then when you're a motivated seller, they can step in as a motivated buyer and get your product, which in this case would be your crypto, just a tiny bit cheaper. I mean, really, at its heart, that's what's going on, and that's what's wrong. So I hope that makes sense to everybody because it's kind of crazy. Make sure, by the way, that you hit the like button on your way in. We did have XAI23JA people just pop up through the middle of the night spamming. And I went in and I deleted some of them as I was going through, but I can't, like, if there's any mod, just to delete anything old out there and ban the user, delete all their comments, maybe we can, but it looked like when I started going through it, it looked like it was just bot after bot after bot. It was it was different bots. It wasn't the same bots making the same comments, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know what I mean? Like, so let's get into it. Let's talk about what's going on. All right, so your bubbles, Pi is down another 17.7%. As I told you, Hex down 13.8 because I told you. SWE down 8.3%. I didn't tell you that one, but that's a good opportunity for a buy, I would think. I would get the sense or the feeling that that's the case. Also, Justin Sun's been talking about Tron being a meme coin haven one more time again. It's up 1.4% on the day. Cake up 12% on the day as BNB continues its little resurgence, and Bera up 6.6%. In fact, when you look at 24-hour volume, BSC is currently number 1, Ethereum number 2, very, very close here, and then Solana is now a distant number 3. So, volume, everything has really swung in a different direction over the last little while. Solana was on a win streak, and I think people just and by the way, I think it's a testament to, if you were to the argument, in so much as you might have an argument for or against Solana, is that, I mean, Solana is cooked because of meme coins, because all of these meme coins are launching every day and it's just diluting and it's destroying and blah, 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 blah. Where did everybody go? They went to BSC. Are you putting the pieces together yet? Nobody gives a shit about meme coins not working, or, you know, whatever goofy reason somebody might have given you, whatever reason they may have given you. That's stupid, because if it were the case, they wouldn't have all gone to BSC, because that's the other meme coin space. So nobody gives a shit. It's meme. It's the meme coins. Bino went crasho. All right. Let's see what happened there. Let's see. 34 down 34%. It's a small amount. I don't think that's a big deal. We'll see. We'll get to that. We'll get to that one in just a few. Anyway. Bitcoin, by the way, down 2.2% on the day. Layer up 14%, Zero up 16%, Vanna up 10%, Plume down 14%, FTT down 12.7%. Woo! Orca 131%. Just, and by the way, just kind of popped up out of nowhere. What even is Orca? 196 million market cap. Let's see what. What do we want here? You know what? Let's go over here. Orca. All right, so it's at a 192 million market cap. Orca's website is, that's it. The fuck? Careers, rewards. Okay. All right. Well, look, to me, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but this could be Orca crypto. So it surged 200% after an Upbit listing. That's extremely overbought. Yeah, 170%. But I like, that's not a. All right, so Solana-based DEX Orca native token skyrockets 92% as Upbit listing happens, tops the $3 mark. The Korean exchange said it is listing Orca trading pairs, opening doors for local traders known to transact huge amounts of money in the altcoin market to take exposure to the cryptocurrency. Boy, getting an Upbit listing is probably. And by the way, Korea is cracking down. South Korea is cracking down on exchanges today. So this is a really kind of a weird day for this to be happening. Orca is the 11th largest Solana-based DEX with assets worth nearly 250 million locked on the platform. It's actually pretty significant. So keep an eye on Orca. Will it continue on is the question. I don't know if that's the case. But Orca whales rug pull LOL. I don't know how that's going to be the case. Whales are entitled to profit off of, I mean, and no, they I don't understand. They were talking about it at $3 back then, saying, "Oh my God, it broke out to $3." It actually broke out to almost $5.03. So I don't know. I mean, this really looks like, what this looked like to me is, it looks like exactly what happened with DevE. It had a nice little run at the beginning, consolidated as people got their tokens unlocked or whatever, you know, pre-sale stuff they did. Then they got an enormous spike because they've got some kind of move, which in DevE's case was that other thing. I guess the potential for no more sell-off because the vesting and stuff like that got it to a more true valuation. Looks like the same thing's happening over here. So, you know, might have a few hours of this thing pumping back up near its normal price, and then you know, somewhere around in this range, and then boom. And I don't know why this goddamn pointer thing is happening over here. And At first I didn't like it, but now I like it. So, but you should probably see that kind of move. You know what I mean? Like that to me seems like the next one. And Jesus Christ, now, you know what? Now it just annoys the shit out of me that I've got arrows doing this shit the whole time. You know, get your shit together, please. Getting sidetracked. All right. So, moving on here, dog in me down 24%. By the way, if you notice the pump that happened yesterday really just ended up being a dump today. So it was really a liquidity extraction. Basically, they were trying to sucker you in. This was the epitome of a bull trap. I don't think that it was a very big one. I think this was just kind of a, you know, quick move to try to, you know, shake out a few people, grab a few bucks. And then as we come down here, look at this. Bone is up 22% on the day, finally doing something. Been a long time since we've seen Bone make a move. So, and by the way, Bone, look at where the fuck is it? Look at that. Like, we were talking about this thing so far back, and then it just fell off a cliff the other day, going into the beginning of March down to 19 cents. Massive recovery over the last couple of days. Went up to 50 cents again. But man, oh man, oh man. Bone not having a good go of it right now. And by the way, I still maintain a bullish narrative on most of these. The problem is just the markets are cooked. There's no other way to put it. So let's get around here and figure out what's going on though. Fear and greed index back down to 31. One good day, and then we had a massive sell down again as we came back into it. The market is still pricing in a bottom, and I don't think that we found the bottom, by the way. So let's talk about a little bit of news, and then we'll get into where I think we are. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin erase gains, even as Trump reiterates crypto capital pledge. Now, what is happening right now? Arthur Hayes also has said that the odds are shifting more bullish for Bitcoin, and he's right. Now, you by the way, Arthur Hayes is somebody who's been out here saying $62,000 was his target for Bitcoin as well. Okay, more than 187 million was liquidated in the market in the past 24 hours, with bullish bets accounting for 129 million. Bitcoin's open interest dropped 3.85% in the last couple of hours. Stocks corrected on Wednesday as the rally lost steam. Crypto Quant highlighted that the Bitcoin bull score has dropped to a 2-year low of 20, signaling a broader bearish trend rather than a short-term correction. Historically, Bitcoin has only sustained major price rallies when the bull score is above 60. So as it is declining and going down, that's not a great sign. As a matter of fact, we should, I don't know if we are or not, but we should follow them and get updates. There we go. So Arthur Hayes, however, spotted a good sign. He says, my custom U.S. bank credit supply index is trending higher. Doesn't mean we are done dumping, but the odds are shifting more bullish. So that's what I think is going on. I think that if we at least remember when I throw this back up here and we start to look at it long term, then it's this move right here, global liquidity coming back in, doesn't mean that we're not done. And by the way, when I say that, this thing right here, this little catastrophic dump in that volume that happens, I don't think we've seen that yet. I think that we're about to see a very big dump happening in this market to get us down. I don't know how far down it goes. I'll be honest with you. Like I really, you know, just kind of looking at this, staring at it, hoping for the best. But the more I just kind of move it around and look, and let me put up the original. You pop up that global liquidity index on the screen, and like it just to me looks like, and by the way, I'm not sure whether I've got this right or not. That's the hard part of it, right? Is this top right here, or is that the secondary one right here? If that's the case, is that one right there? Is this right here? Is this right here? is this right here, and then this is about to happen, taking us down here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the question that I have. And when I look at the structure of, and by the way, I'm projecting, if you will, because I'm looking for, where is that inflection? Like, where is that move? Where is the, you know what I'm saying? Like where does it just look right? This bottom over here, like this bottom right here versus this bottom right here. Which one was it? You know what I mean? Like I'm just guessing, if you will. If I were to guess loudly, it would be this right here is right there, because that move right there looks like that right there. So then you had this big spike. So it makes sense. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, which means that this right here is this right here, that this right here is this right here, that this right here is this right here, that this right here is this right here. So boom. It is my opinion, based upon all of those silly factors right now, that we are probably not looking very good. That we are looking at a dump, like a crazy dump getting ready to happen. I'm playing around with lights, by the way. So, but ultimately, it looks to me like we've got one more leg down before we get any kind of move into the positive. And I think that that's what this really is right here, is this little spot right here. We're kind of up at the top of that range right now. We'll probably have another little spike, but then it is my estimation that we are headed down, 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 down one more time. So where does that go for Bitcoin? The answer to that is right in this range right here. So anywhere between 50 and 60, something like that, is certainly possible. And by the way, I just want you, I want you to know that it is not, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm not saying that there's not a reversal. And I'm not saying that just because we're seeing this part play out, which again, this right here is basically this right here, right? I'm not saying that it's going to go down any further than maybe even 73. Like this huge dip right here, that's not reflective of how much you're actually going to go down. We could actually just maybe dip a tiny bit and just take off, and the liquidity flow starts coming in, because as you kind of zoom out, and let's minimize so that we can focus on the screen here. And when you look at it and you start to, because you can't fit all of this stuff onto the screen just right. But, when you see a spike like this and you see a spike like this, you see that happen. Sometimes the market's not working the same way. I mean, when you zoom out and you look at the spikes, like that big spike right there, it is clear that this move right here is that right there. Like, it is clear. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see some of these spikes, but then look at this, all this downward momentum as the flow came out, but the flow came back in. So this is not going to be precise. The direction of it might look the same. The flow of it might be a different story. So we could look at sideways action, still be considered this huge dump, and then, just start to rip from there. I don't, at this point, I don't know. I'm guessing, and I am guessing wildly at this point. This market does look kind of cooked. Okay. So, and by the way, the whale that's been the insider for the Trump, and that whale's gone long on Bitcoin. So and by the way, they're expecting short-term moves, and a whole lot of traders are following everything they do. So, again, just get ready, because I think that we are about to have just a crazy dump, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. Hopefully that's going to be, I mean, how much lower can we go? Also, by the way, just to clarify here, we did swap out Trade Assist for High IQ. So we'll be messing with High IQ going forward over the next couple of months, kind of using it maybe to see and spot some trading options. So XRP lawsuit. Ex-SEC lawyer warns that Ripple's win in the XRP lawsuit could be temporary, as regulatory challenge may persist despite the SEC's withdrawal. And the answer to that, by the way, is no. This guy is just, whoever this dummy is at this point, is trying to save a little face. Okay. This is James Farrell. highlighted the XRP lawsuit outcome might not be as definitive as some believe. He argued that other regulatory bodies and private entities could still challenge Ripple's past and future transactions. That's largely true, but only via the SEC. Private plaintiffs, state security regulators, and other U.S. federal agencies can all take different positions. U.S. federal agencies and most state securities, guys, it's wild that, and by the way, these things could happen. There are definitely things that could happen at a state level. But here's the thing. Most states at this point are supportive of the current direction that we're heading ultimately, and not the previous administration's hatred and resentment of your freedom. So I would say that none of this is real, and other federal agencies are not going to step in, or if they do step in and there are lawsuits, it's going to be for real reasons, legitimate reasons, you would think, instead of just because we want to slow walk crypto. What we want to do is we want to pause crypto. We want to prevent crypto from spreading to the masses until the banks can take it over. Stupid. All right, so let's look for that and see what happens. Next up, Japan's Metaplanet taps Eric Trump for a Bitcoin push. Now, I just want to say that how interesting is it that Hunter Biden is using his father's name in order to get himself a spot on a strategic board? Oh, shit, wrong. Wait, that's my bad. Wrong kid. I said Hunter Biden was using his family name to get on a strategic board of advisors somewhere. That's ridiculous. That would never happen. Anyway, Eric Trump is on the strategic board of advisors now for Metaplanet. And it certainly is not that he's using his family name, and that Metaplanet is using the family name in order to curry favor, like Ukraine, like I don't remember exactly. What was that? Burisma? I have not seen such MAGA outrage like is on Twitter this morning right now, because Eric Trump is doing the same thing that Hunter Biden was doing with Burisma. And I'm just kidding. Ain't nobody said anything, because it was never about Hunter Biden. It was all about control. So anyway, Pi Network down about 20% today. What is happening with Pi? The euphoria surrounding Pi coin seems to be fading pretty quickly amid the constant delays in Binance listing plans, which have been a major hit on the market sentiment. Another major common grievance among Pi coin investors is the lack of a clear roadmap for the open mainnet launch. While other crypto projects have offered transparent timelines, Pi Network's future plans are ambiguous. This has led to growing discussions about whether Pi is a scam. Clarifying it, Dr. Altcoin, who's been closely associated with the project, said clearly there was a lack of communication and transparency from the Pi core team, which can lead to some to misconstrue the Pi network as a scam. However, I've been involved with the project for many years and have not found a sufficient evidence to label it as such. That doesn't answer the question. That just says, hey, I'm an investor and I don't think it's a scam. So keep putting your money in, bruh. That's not exactly confidence inspiring. I mean, let's go see what Dr. Altcoin says, though. Dr. Altcoin, 40,000 followers. However, I do agree at one point that needs to change as soon as possible. The Pi Network, with its multi-million strong community, is too large to be managed solely by a team of 40 to 50 staff members. The core team has heavily relied on the Pi community for marketing. However, now that we are in the open network phase, it's crucial for the core team to hire dedicated. Okay, so he's just saying whatever. So anyway, Pi Network is basically what you've got is a bunch of Jeets out here saying, why are they not pumping my bag? And I bought it and I mined it at the really, really, really low price. They have an obligation to never take a salary. Nobody can get paid. Everybody has to work for free. And then I get to pump my bag, and then I get to sell at the top. And I get to determine, don't stop going down. Stop going down. Go up more. You know what I mean? It's dummies. Like, take your money at the top. Take your money. You know what I mean? Like, What fucking idiot didn't sell up here? You know what I mean? Like, what fucking idiot didn't sell up here? If you've been mining this shit for all this time, and you got a launch here at 20 cents and it went up to $2.40 and you're up 12x and you're like, it didn't go to 500 million, billion, jillion. You fucking idiot. Like, you deserve, you know what I mean? So anyway, it's doing exactly what I told you it was going to do. I hope you made a bunch of money off of it, and I hope you listened to me. And if you didn't, because I told you what was going to happen. I gift wrapped it for you, what was going to happen. And as it's happening right now, don't be mad at me, and don't be mad at yourself and say Bleaves is such an asshole for pointing it out, because, well, first of all, that's true. I am for doing that, but also, no, that's it. I am an asshole for doing that. But anyway, I'm not a banana. You're a banana. You know what I mean? All right. So the market seems to be moving in a positive. DeFi is up 0.5% right now. The overall market is only down 11 billion on the day. So I do think it kind of looks like maybe we might have a little bit of a recovery. We might get a positive day out of it. I'm really not sure. I mean, you know, you look at this, you look at the market, you know, who knows? Let's talk about what we can talk about, though. And first up is DevE. DevE, Ray Quintana, is on his way to Paris right now for Token 2049. He is going to be one of the keynote speakers right there. So could there be an announcement? That's perhaps an opportunity for some major kind of revelation. Will there be? I don't know. I really, you know, and look, even if they could say, I know that they would not. So, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, whatever. So, but I, you know, this will be a great opportunity. It would be a great opportunity for some kind of crazy thing to happen with DevE. So they're going to be on a platform on the grandest stage in Paris with an opportunity. So could be interesting. Also, everything that we told you before. Where's the price action at right now? So they're headed to they're headed to this keynote. Price is trading right now at about 67 cents, down on the day. You can see like it didn't really, it's not really selling off so much. Just, you know, you got a single entity every once in a while that might unload a large amount, but then, you know, you got decent buyback right now. The trade volume here is still significantly nice. Okay. It's not huge, but it's sufficient, right? 145,000. You know, you get into that 500,000 range, maybe it starts to pick up, something like that. You know, just right now it's a little bit low. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see a little bit more popping out of this in short order. But again, I think that this is going to be an interesting moment for DevE. Now, is it set to, this is gonna be my concern. Okay. I think in the event that we do not get, you know, some kind of, and by the way, it doesn't have to be, you know, who doing an announcement. It doesn't have to be something incredible or grand. It just has to be something, right? Because look what happened here. You know, we had this breakout, right? It broke out, it back tested, it started to pump, and then it immediately started dumping for the last 2 days. We're just trending sideways and we're not breaking out. Now, what that does mean is that could lead to this sort of playing out right here, a move down into 60 cents right here as a dump or more going into this token 2049. If there's a huge announcement, it's going to rip. If there's not a huge announcement, it's probably going to dip. So get your checkbook out. This could be, I'm not saying that it is, all right, but if you just consider zooming out and saying, well, what you would like to see is you would like to see a test of that trend line. If we don't succeed, well, that comes all the way down into that 40-50 cent range. That is a really good like that's going to be a really good buy opportunity. Like, this is, if it doesn't break out over the next couple of days, if there's not some significant achievement that they can now talk about, then there's some downward pressure and downward momentum and a great opportunity to grab yourself just a little bit more. Because, guys, I'm telling you right now, DevE is going to go absolutely bonkers when this is all said and done. So right now, if you're holding, look, here's what I want to say. It is my opinion, not a fact, but it is my opinion that if right now you are holding 20,000 DevE, I think that you'll be a millionaire in the next 6 months. That is my opinion. I do think that their partnership, that who they're partnered with, I do think that when this thing really, really starts to take off, and it will happen pretty soon, I do think that when that happens over the next 6 months, you're going to be a millionaire. 20,000 DevE is what you're going to need. So that would be enough to cash out the top, which I think is $50, by the way. So there you go. Pump it, by the way, to skip over just a little bit to get to it. While it's pumping right now, Pump It is up 100% on the day, having a big time recovery. Remember, I told you yesterday, like if you're at 1100 right now, this is a perfect time to buy, because at the very minimum, it's going to pump back up to this trend line. Well, it's at the trend line right now. So it pumped 100%, did exactly what I told you it was going to do. Now, the question is, can we get enough buy pressure here to get that bounce and then get that move back up into the range? If we get up into the range, then you're looking at a move right now, an impulse move, which is actually going to be about a 5x. So a 5x impulse move taking us back to 10 million market cap with a move back into this zone right here. That's going to be your golden zone. So that's what I think. I think that's the next step. I think that's what we're waiting for right now. And as a matter of fact, I don't know how I screwed this up. I don't know. That should be gold. That's God damn it. That's going to be green. That one's going to be gold. And then everything else is going to be purple. And yeah, we want it to be white. Let's do that. Well, it's got to be a white thing because. All right, so that, and then there, and then white, and then white, and then white. There we go. All right, we'll leave that. So right there, that move right there is what I think is going to happen. That golden area somewhere in there is, I think, where that impulse move is going to go. So if you haven't already, go look at it, go check it out. Also, if you want to burn some Luna Classic and you don't want to be a baby about it, you want to be a big boy, put on the big boy pajamas, then go to trobits.com and help me out. Every day we go here. Every day we click through a couple of these. Every day we earn a little bit. So we go through these articles. We check out what's going on. And every day these ads are paying to burn Luna Classic. Yesterday, 154,000 were burned. Yesterday, SHIB burned 783,000. So big time moves happening over there. We got Rio in the house right now. Thanks for the $10 bomb. He says Bino is a slow cook. Bino is down 34% today. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. I told you guys. Now, what it looks like is we just had a little bit of a sell down here. Team hasn't fully pushed yet. Impatient will be replaced by the patient. Do your own research. We have a VC tonight. So I would suspect that's probably going to see a pump coming tonight. Guys, let's listen to what we're saying here. In this, the impatient will be replaced by the patient. Team hasn't fully pushed yet. Do your own research, not financial advice. Have a voice chat tonight. Look, here's what I think is going to happen. If you just consider right now, it goes to 100,000 market cap. That's 5x from where you are at this point. Let's call it 4x. If it goes to 200,000 market cap, that's what, 8x from where we currently are. It's almost foolish not to at least load up and get yourself a little bit of a bag here. Like I want to say it's even, dare I say it, irresponsible of you to not do that. And by the way, the top over here was 325,000 market cap. So if it just goes back to that, that's a 14x from where it is right now. So and by the way, remember, let me go back here, because I'm not saying that today is going to be the day. I'm not saying this voice chat tonight is going to be the reason it explodes. I'm not saying that at all. And the reason that I'm not saying that is because I'm not sure about Bitcoin yet and about this market. We're down 14 billion on the day. US market didn't come in super buy mode. Dow Jones down 400 points on the day. So we're not having a good start to another Donald Trump dump day. So the Dow Jones is down to prices that, I mean, Jesus Christ, if it goes down any more, the last time it's been this low is going to be Trump's first term. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad this market has been doing right now. I mean, look at this. Like, this is catastrophic levels of dump right now. I mean, this is, this is your president level worth of dump. I mean, Jesus Christ, like how low are we going to go? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, Donald Trump, look, this was the market. The market was at 44,000 when Donald Trump took over. It is down 10%. And I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump somewhere said that if a market goes down more than 1% in a day, the president should be impeached or fired or something like that. And it's done it like 4 times so far under Donald Trump. Once here, once here, once here, and then I think once here. He probably shouldn't say stupid shit like that, should he? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You never know. I mean, maybe. So, and by the way, does it annoy you when I say shit like that? If it does, if it doesn't, good for you. You're a grown up. You understand. I'm just playing around. It is funny to me. By the way, it's funny to me because I, like anybody else, by the way, never been a fan, but I think that Donald Trump is the best guy for crypto. I think that he's going to lead us into the future and that we're going to get the bull run, right? We're going to get the bull run. And it is my opinion, not my fact, but it's my opinion that Donald Trump is going to manifest it. Okay. I mean, this is the luckiest guy on the history of getting sued. So, I mean, why bet against the man at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you bet against a guy who you know will do something janky and skeezy and whatever garbage move he could do to make himself look good? And the only thing that makes him look good, is people making money, right? That's the important part. Now, because of that, he's got to have some success. There will be some success. So just have a little bit of patience over the next little while, and I am sure that this market is going to roar and soar. Matter of fact, if you look at the Dow Jones and you see that parabolic, I mean, you know, Donald Trump probably can't sustain Joe Biden's level of performance. You know what I mean? Like, he probably, you know, as presidents go, probably just not as good. You know what I mean? You can't keep up that curve, can you? I mean, that's wild, right? That's wild, right? Hey, I'm just fucking with you, by the way. The market, I assume at this point, the market is going to be at about 50,000 here pretty soon. Like we're going to be at 50,000 pretty soon. Everything that's happening right now is for that moment. The fact that it's not happening right now, I would not worry about it at all. Trump is destroying the market to force interest rate cuts. Exactly. So Trump is trying to, first of all, bond yields are too high. He's trying to tank the bond market. Why is he trying to tank the bond market? Because the United States has to refinance a lot of debt coming up in the next 6 months. If it has to refinance the debt, it needs lower bond rates because those bond yields at 4% are crazy. So he needs to get the bond yields down. And that means he needs to get the interest rates down. That means that he needs to do all of this stuff here to wreck as much as he can in order for it to, quote unquote, fix itself. So, it'll be interesting when it takes off. The fact that it hasn't taken off right now is frustrating, I know, for everybody. And it does mean that we've delayed the bull run again. But it's coming. It's going to be here when you least expect it. When we look at the Bitcoin ETF and we look at the flows that are coming in and out, like, you can't help but be impressed and understand that even now, positive inflows, 165 million yesterday. The Ethereum ETF, not so much. Still struggling along, still not finding its way, down $12 million on the day, but it's up 2.45 billion. And remember, it was trading at 3,400 when the ETF launched. It's trading at 2,000 or 1,800 right now with positive inflows. It is only a matter of time before this market does a massive upside correction. You guys are going to make it. We're going to be there for it, right? So what else? Saitama Wolfpack, if you guys haven't already. Next Thursday, myself, Deb, and Adam, we're all going to be on a public show. You'll be able to come ask us whatever you want, anything that you would like. You can, you'll notice here a little downward momentum today. It's kind of dumped just a little bit. It was a good run, I guess. It was a good run while it lasted. With just a crazy sort of move. As you go down here, you got a little bit of a sell-off is basically what's happening right now, right? Yeah, a little bit of a sell down. It's not big, by the way. Remember how far down it was, where it is right now. You're still in the right spot. Again, we've got one big dump left to go. That's Solana at 127. Remember, it was 135 yesterday. When we look at it from a USDT basis, then it's not as big a downward move. So, some of this is in the hands of Solana. Some of it is in the hands of us. So there will be a big reversal. The important part here is, what do we see? We see this. We see this. We're seeing, and by the way, that's a fairly decent structure right there to say that, we're in a trend line. We got a pattern that's clearly formed right here. And the last time we dipped here, I don't know if that's a complete dip or not. That may not be, but we didn't even come down for that test, which means that we're showing a little bit of strength. We back tested the descending channel for a breakout. There's potentially a really significant sort of move happening right there. Now, will that happen? I don't know. We'll see. It bounced off of it. This is the same thing, by the way, that DevE did. If you guys remember, we just talked about that. It had that descending trend. It bounced off. It back tested, and then it was supposed to break out, but it didn't break out. Why? The market's still dipping. How far down do we go? I don't know. We could reverse it any moment, or we could just have a catastrophic wipeout. Again, the market is out for blood, and when there's no volume, by the way, we should also, just to point this out, guys, volume is down to 72 billion. If we look at the spot market volume and we zoom out in let's do crypto spot volume 30 days. Well, it says here that's dipping down, but I mean, you guys can see right here, we've had these really low days. I don't know why this looks so high. The centralized exchange spot volume for the last 30 days, Binance, okay. Others, okay. Coinbase, okay. Oh, it's by market share. There we go. That's why. There you go. Now you can see it. So you can see, like, this range it's coming down. March 1st, we had that every 7 days, by the way. But the trend right now is no longer volatile. See that volatility right there? We didn't get that in the last week. So people are on the sidelines right now hiding because the market is dumping. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so if we can get a good move, then that'll be a good move. So get yourself some SWP, because when this correction is done, when whatever is going on is done, then guess what? It's going to absolutely explode. And hopefully you guys are going to still be there for it, because, again, I think it's going to be a big one. CCoin, if you haven't already, get yourself a bag. I've been entered in the Solana Hooters bounce bracket. My first opponent is a beast, so without a lot of support, I'm toast. Help me save Hooters. Shouldn't there be a link? Are we going to, I don't know how we're supposed to vote, but if we're supposed to vote for CC, then we're going to need a link for the Solana Hooters. Vote. Yeah, I don't know where the vote thing is. So next post, let's see here, and then here, and then, all right, so it's here. Okay, so here we go. All right, so these are all right, so voting link is later today. Okay, sorry, voting link will be later today. All right, so Yeah, let's give CC a win. By the way, if you're here and you're not here because of CCoin, you've been indoctrinated into this group now. So shut the fuck up and make sure you vote today. Okay. When the link comes out, you are now obligated medically and mathematically to vote the way I want you to vote. That is an order, by the way. So yeah, see what you can do here. It'd be kind of good. Amit, as a matter of fact, I asked them about that in the chat. Like, I think we need to build. Yeah, I think the presence needs to be built just a little bit more, and then I think that it's going to absolutely go crazy. Again, timing. I wouldn't be worried about Bino today, in my opinion. By the way, I wouldn't be worried about it today simply because I don't know that there's anything that the market can do to fix $126 Solana or to fix, what is it, 1800 Ethereum. Like, I don't know that anything can, I don't know anything's going to fix it today, or 1950. Yeah, I don't know that anything is going to fix it at this moment. So anything launching, doing it tomorrow or the day after, or maybe even Sunday night would still, I think, be good. Maybe maybe you'll catch a knife going up. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I would get a sense here that there's going to be a good opportunity for profit. And guys, again, I just want to say, I don't know the team, but I know that the liquidity is burnt. I know Ryo's been here for years, right? He's passionate about it. He's been in the community for a little bit of time. There is a pretty good dump here right now. It just seems to me that this is an almost academic, easy 10x just to get to 240,000 market cap, and 40x just to get to 1 million market cap. And guys, if it goes to 300,000 market cap, what's the next move? Well, the next move is to bang off of it one more time. And where is that? And guys, these trend lines are always the same. I mean, they always develop like this. And when you get that secondary spike, you usually hit it, right? Well, that one hit right there, that's 1 million market cap. 1 million market cap in this situation is a 40x from where we are right now. That's a pretty good run. So if you don't have any Bino, then I think you're going to miss out. Now, I'm going to give you this, by the way, and I'm not promising you anything. I'm not promising you, but that's the contract address, and give it a shot. Trail Boss says, what is going on with Bone? Yeah, we talked about it before. I don't understand what is going on with Bone. It's up 20% like on the day. When you look at the chart, though, I mean, I think what's going on is, I mean, really, I think that this was just some kind of market manipulation event, because it's just been weighing and weighing and weighing down. And, I mean, this is, to me, like, this is a huge opportunity. One of those huge opportunities that you rarely get. I mean, when you look at it from this context right here, and you start to break down, like, this is how low it is right now. And then the top, even if you just consider removing some of that top and just going with this line right there, then the next move here from 29 cents goes up into 64-cent range. Seems like it's going to absolutely break out. You know what I mean? That's perfect right there. See, that's what, guys, if everybody in this chat right now had $100 worth of Bino, right? Then that means that this, by the way, the market cap would be over 100,000 if we all just bought like $100 right now. Like, it would just boom, just like that. It would like 4 or 5x just from the people that are watching buying $100 right now. But again, if that happened, then it would be a 10x still to 1 million market cap. So, and then I think that once they get active and once they get at it, maybe we'll see a nice little win. Maybe we'll see a nice run. So, let me know. We're going to get rid of Orca there, by the way. Okay, so let's round this out here. API 3 down just a little bit. It's up on the day, ultimately at 87 cents. It looks like it's continuing to try to break out. So, hopefully we'll get that big move. Now, remember, this thing had $1 billion market cap at one point during the last bull run, and it's had a lot of positive motivation as it tries to break back out, but it's got this $1 range right there. And I mean, it's going to have some strength to break out. Now, if it breaks out there, then the next move is going to be to $1.25. $1.25 is the next instance, and I don't think if I look at it, no matter how I look at it right now, I don't see a reason to think it's going to pump super hard. Like, when you look at it from this context, you kind of zoom out and you get this, this was the last market when it went to $1 billion market cap. Now it's sitting down in this range right here. And by the way, it's one of the best products on the market. It's better than Chainlink. It just doesn't have the market of Chainlink, but it will. So again, it's got to break through here, got to break through $1.25, and then it's going to have a little bit of a $2.50. Yeah, $2.50 becomes the next little spot right there. And then ultimately it's going to be whether it can break through right there at $3.30. Breaks through $3.30, then, maybe we get through this trading channel again and it starts breaking out. I don't know. But I think ultimately what I told you guys still applies. I think that this is going to be $100 a coin, anywhere between $100 and $300 when it's all said and done, because it is my estimation that this is grossly undervalued at this level. And if it went to 100 billion market cap, or I'm sorry, if it went to a 10 billion market cap, which I think it clearly deserves, ultimately, when it goes to a 10 billion market cap, that's going to be 100x. So that's why I gave you 100 as my prediction. Up to a 30 billion market cap. And that's going to depend a lot on how RWAs really manifest themselves in this market and how well Chainlink is adopted, because this, as a replacement for Chainlink, as a faster, cheaper, and sturdier replacement for Chainlink, a lot of it's going to have to do with that mass adoption standpoint. But in the event that they can get that, then it's going to be on par. And right now, I think Chainlink is around 15 billion market cap, which would be about 150 billion or about $150 per token for API 3. So ultimately, what we're talking about is a big move between 100 and 300 bucks. So API 3, I would just continue to watch that one. Rhythm has not made a move yet, but remember, this is you can download Rhythm. You download Rhythm, and it's kind of like Spotify for crypto. So right now they're kind of in the dead in the trenches, waiting for a reversal of sorts. So they asked me, I did a video for them, stuff like that. They asked me, don't sell for 60 days, give us a chance to kind of work. But then, of course, the market started dumping again. And I think they thought there was a bull run coming, and they're attached to BNB. And of course, if BNB breaks out, then what happens? It breaks out with it. So I think they're hoping for that to happen. Butthole still down a little bit. CC kind of sideways, down 2% on the day. That's kind of it. Trump just waiting, guys. I think this right here is the beacon of light. Okay, I really think that this is the beacon of light. The official Trump meme coin is going to explode. That's when we know the bull run is on. Like, that's, to me, that's going to be that's the bat signal. You know what I'm saying? The Trump meme coin is going to be the bat signal here. When it starts to pump super hard, that's going to be, to me, an indicator that the bull run is on. So when we see a doubling of market price on the official Trump meme coin, then that's when we know we've arrived. So the market right now, I'm not really sure what's going to happen today. I still think, again, if I'm looking at it, and this is this is as honest as I can be about it. Like, when I look at the structure of how the markets have broken out, how closely tied together they are to that global liquidity. When I stare at it, the more I stare at it, the more I say that we are in a sucker rally right now. This is a bull trap right here, and we're about to come down into this range before we start to spike after that. So and how far down does it go? Look, I would say that somewhere in this range right here, you know what I mean? Like, I think there would be let's put that rectangle out and say from here down to about there is the safe number. That's the number where I don't know that it's going to happen, but I could certainly see it happen. And if that ends up being all we get, I would be pretty confident about the market at that point, because that would be this, and then it would be this, and we would be breaking out from there. However, this is what the market looks like. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still going to be the same thing, but I'm nervous. So let me know what you think, by the way, in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Last Trail Boss, by the way, we did a futures trading strategy. I gave you basically the simplest way to do it. Or at least I thought it was. If anybody has any comments, by the way, on that video, which where the fuck did that video go? I just put futures trading strategy right there. If anybody, if you have any questions or anything like that, by all means, reach out. Let me know. And then make sure you hit the like button on it too, by the way. I assume that, you know, that's just going to be one of those long-term things. Hopefully I can get it trending a little bit, and hopefully you guys will help. So it's called Futures Trading Strategy. I released it last night. If you want the link to it, by the way, it would be nice if you watched that. And if it helps, and by the way, if you have any questions about it, send me a request. Like, what is it that like, what is it you want to see? Trail Boss did this one. And by the way, I'm not completely happy with this video, so we're going to redo it a couple times, maybe refine it a few times. I think, you know, more educational content obviously is, in my opinion, important for markets. So, you know, as I work through some of these things, you know, we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you again on Monday.